This was the largest shark that ever lived, the Megalodon, a prehistoric monster, a predator so powerful. Nothing in the ocean could challenge it. Nothing hunted it. Nothing escaped it. For millions of years, it ruled the seas. But there is a terrifying possibility scientists rarely talk about. What if Megalodon wasn't the biggest creature in the ocean? Because hidden in ancient legends, deep-sea discoveries, and unexplained sonar recordings are creatures described as far larger, creatures that could destroy ships, creatures sailors believed were islands, creatures that might still exist today. And the most disturbing part, we have explored less than 10% of the ocean, meaning whatever else is down there, we probably haven't seen it yet. These are 5 sea monsters believed to be bigger than the Megalodon, and number 1 might still be alive. Because the deeper we explore the ocean, the stranger it becomes. And what scientists discovered over the last century changed everything. For hundreds of years, sailors told the same terrifying story. Something massive beneath their ships. At first, they thought it was land. Then the island started moving. Then the water began to boil. And then tentacles appeared, massive arms rising from the ocean, wrapping around ships like rope, crushing wood like paper, pulling entire vessels into the darkness. They called it the Kraken. For centuries, scientists dismissed these stories. Just fear, just imagination, just sailor legends, until the 1800s, when something changed. Giant squid were discovered, real animals, reaching over 40 feet long, with eyes the size of dinner plates, hooks covering their tentacles, predators from the deep. Suddenly, the Kraken didn't seem so impossible anymore, because if creatures like that existed, what else could be hiding deeper? Some early Kraken reports described something even larger, something far bigger than any squid discovered today. Something strong enough to drag ships underwater. But even the Kraken may not be the most terrifying creature described in the ocean, because the next monster was feared by entire civilizations. Thousands of years ago, ancient texts described a creature unlike anything else, Leviathan. A sea monster described as unstoppable, covered in armor-like scales, impossible to wound, impossible to escape. Some writings claimed sparks came from its mouth. Others said its presence alone could turn the ocean violent, storms following its movement, waves rising without warning. Many historians believe Leviathan symbolized chaos, the uncontrollable power of nature. But something strange appears when researchers compare global myths. Massive sea serpents appear everywhere. Middle Eastern texts, European legends, Asian stories, different cultures, same description. Why would civilizations separated by oceans describe the same type of creature? Some researchers believe these stories may have started from real encounters. Sightings of unknown large marine animals. Animals never officially identified. Because even today, sailors still report strange encounters, long dark shapes moving below the surface, too large to be sharks, too long to be whales, too smooth to be rock formations, always disappearing before confirmation. But Leviathan may not be the largest serpent ever imagined, because the next creature was said to be world-sized. In Norse mythology, there is a creature known as Jorun Gandonder, the world serpent, a creature so massive it wrapped around the entire earth, holding its own tail in its mouth, waiting, growing, watching. The legend says, if it ever released its tail, the world would end. Obviously, mythology. But here is what makes this interesting. Ancient myths often exaggerate real dangers, turning large animals into world-ending monsters. And prehistoric oceans really did contain giants, mosasaurs, pliosaurs, massive marine reptiles longer than buses, apex predators of their time, creatures far larger than modern sharks, creatures humans never saw alive, but later discovered through fossils. Which raises an interesting question. Were stories like Jorun Gandonder completely fictional, or distorted memories of ancient ocean giants? Because history shows something fascinating. Every time we think we understand the ocean, we discover something new. And the next entry proves that point, because this one is not mythology, it is science, and it may be even more disturbing. Here is something most people don't realize. We have explored more of the moon than our own oceans. More than 90% remains unmapped, unseen, unknown. And every deep ocean mission reveals something unexpected. Strange creatures, alien-looking predators, animals we never imagined could exist. Because in extreme depths, something called deep sea gigantism happens. Species grow much larger than expected. Scientists still don't fully understand why, but it keeps happening. Giant isopods, colossal squid, massive deep water predators, creatures that look like they belong on another planet. And sometimes, sonar detects things that don't make sense. Massive moving shapes, too large to identify, too deep to see clearly, usually dismissed as unknown whale behavior or equipment anomalies. But sometimes, the movement patterns don't match any known species, and that leads to a disturbing possibility, because the number one entry is not mythology and not confirmed science either. It exists somewhere in between. Submarine sonar operators sometimes report something unusual. Massive contacts, appearing briefly, moving with direction, then disappearing. Not mountains, not known animals, not submarines, just unknown. Some researchers believe undiscovered megafauna could still exist. Large animals hiding in deep ocean trenches, places humans rarely explore. The Mariana Trench alone reaches depths over 36,000 feet. We have explored only small parts of it, and every expedition discovers new species, new ecosystems, new mysteries. Some scientists say large unknown predators are unlikely. Others say the ocean is simply too vast to rule it out. Because remember this, the blue whale is the largest animal ever known. Yet for most of human history, we had no idea how large it truly was. So what else might exist that we simply haven't encountered yet? What else could be moving miles below the surface right now? The truth is simple. We know more about distant galaxies than our own oceans. We have mapped Mars better than parts of Earth's seafloor. And every deep ocean expedition reveals something new, something strange, something unexpected, which raises one final question. If creatures larger than Megalodon existed before, could some still exist today, hidden in the darkness, waiting, where we rarely look? Because until we explore what remains, we cannot say for certain what is really down there. And maybe that's what makes the ocean so terrifying. Because if history has taught us anything, it is this. The biggest discoveries are usually the ones we haven't made yet, and the biggest monsters may still be waiting in the deep.